Hey guys, I'm Dr. Sebastian Gonzalez. Today we're going to cover plantar fasciitis and mainly just cover the types of plantar fasciitis that really doesn't get better with your common foam rolling and tissue work and so on, because there's a lot of them out there. And if you read a lot of runners' forums, they go over, there's people suffering all over the place with this thing, and really the solution isn't always that complicated. It's just other things you haven't tried yet. And so to identify the plantar fascia, we have this area right here. See, you pull the toes back and it starts to tent. And so a lot of times, again, the plantar fasciitis, it typically is actually irritated within this area, right in front of the heel. But a lot of times people will categorize it as being stuff like this. And this inner arch pain is not always actually the plantar fascia being irritated, it's other things. So it's really common for people to have x-rays that really don't show the bone spurs that they're looking for, and it's common to have MRIs which don't show that really any irritation to the plantar fascia. And what we need to consider is that what else is here which could be creating the problem, and how do we get rid of it? Now, one really easy solution is actually, it's the sciatic nerve as it comes down and becomes what we call the tibial nerve, and it runs right around the area of the heel as well as into here. In this area, there's a little nerve that drops into there, which surprisingly, if we just get this nerve to start feeling better, this area decreases too. And I'll show you one thing that I mean with this, and I won't be too aggressive with her just because we might light something up, is that, but typically if you bring the toes back and you bring the leg up, this shouldn't have any effect on if your plantar fascia feels worse in this position or in this position. And all this does is we're changing where the hip is at, and we're tensioning the nerve as it goes up, all right? And so this is what we call a differentiating factor. And the hip should not affect the plantar fascia. They should have no relationship really whatsoever unless there's something connecting there. And so something that we can do to help her feel better with this, if this is something that she's experiencing, is we can try to address it as maybe a disc injury, which is affecting a nerve, or we can start affecting the nerve just in a very general way. And so the first thing we can do is go ahead and go on your side and face that way. And so if we're considering this as a nerve thing, the nerve is it's a simple solution a lot of times when it is going to work this way. And so we call this an opener. And all you got to do is just drop the pelvis here, and you don't have to be on the table to do it. You can do it on the ground. You put something underneath the body. And she just basically drops the pelvis here to kind of open this side up. And this literally just takes a tourniquet off the nerve. And so she hangs it in this position for about 30 seconds or so, takes a little break, and then goes again, 30 seconds or so, and then comes back and does it again. And it's a pretty simple thing again, and if you get up and stand and walk around, it seems to work, right? If it doesn't work, it's not the solution, all right? The simple thing with this kind of thing is, with a lot of these types of ankle conditions, is if you're trying something for months at a time and it's not working, try something new. Try something that's gonna work, because usually 4 or 5, 6 times, like, you're finding a really good change. And so this is a really easy solution with it, number one, okay? Second thing, go ahead and go face down, is if this nerve thing creating plantar fascia pain because of a nerve contribution is disc related, I can just have you go up on your elbows and just, there you go, prop up like you're reading a book. And so she can just hang here. And although this doesn't really seem like it has an effect on this, the proof is in the pudding. And if she tested, like, say, running prior to, and she does this and hangs here for like about 30 seconds, takes 10 off, 30 seconds, 10 off, and does it for like 5 minutes or so, her symptoms might go away with running. And again, if that's the case, we've done nothing to the plantar fascia. We've only addressed the neurological complaint. And so stuff like a Strasbourg sock, locking this thing into dorsiflexion overnight, probably not going to be something that works, right? So if this is something that's helpful to you, by the way, you should get checked out medically. There's always a disclaimer on these videos. Come see me. I'm in Huntington Beach, California. These things are usually not that complicated to address. It's just very, very frustrating that I know how it is. Like, it's hard to find something that works. And so let me guide you through this. It's not that hard. I'll put a link to the website, which has a lot of free resources on ankle and foot conditions, especially for runners. So that's p2sportscare.com. Subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys next week.